His name was Ethan Miller. He was just an ordinary boy from a small American town. Quiet streets, wooden houses, and dreams much bigger than his world. Every morning, he woke up before the sun. Not because he loved mornings, but because he wanted to change his life. He had one dream: to become an engineer. He wanted to build things that mattered, machines that could help people live better. But life wasn't kind to him. His father worked at a gas station. His mother cleaned offices at night. They didn't have much, just enough to pay rent and keep food on the table. Still, they gave Ethan something money could never buy: belief. At school, Ethan wasn't the smartest kid. He sat in the back, listening more than talking. When teachers asked questions, he hesitated, afraid of being wrong. Some classmates laughed at his old clothes and cheap backpack. A few even said, "He's not college material. He won't go far." But Ethan didn't listen. He didn't have fancy words or confidence. What he had was hunger, a quiet fire that refused to die. At night, when the world slept, he studied by the yellow light of an old lamp. He didn't have a tutor. He had YouTube. He watched free lessons, paused, replayed, learned, one video at a time. When he reached high school, life hit harder. The bills piled up. His father's back started to hurt from long hours at work. His mom looked older than her age. Ethan wanted to quit school and find a job. One evening he said, "Mom, maybe I should help Dad. Maybe college isn't for people like us." His mother smiled softly, tired but strong. She said, "Ethan, we've struggled all our lives so you wouldn't have to. Don't stop now." Those words changed him. From that day, he decided, no matter what happened, he wouldn't give up, even if it took everything he had. One winter, his father got laid off. Money ran out fast. Ethan took a part-time job at a grocery store after school, stacking shelves till midnight. He would come home exhausted, but still open his books. Sometimes he fell asleep on his desk with a pencil in his hand. One night, he whispered to himself, "I don't know how long I can do this, but I can't stop now." He started saving every dollar he earned, skipping lunch, walking instead of taking the bus. His friends went to parties. He stayed home, chasing something bigger. Graduation day came. When results were announced, Ethan couldn't breathe. He opened the school website and there it was, his name on the scholarship list. He had earned a full ride to a state university. Tears rolled down his mother's cheeks. His father, silent as always, hugged him tightly. In that small moment, every sleepless night, every tear, every doubt was worth it. College was a new universe. Everyone spoke fast, wore designer clothes, drove cars. Ethan had none of that. He felt small, invisible. He sat in the back of the lecture hall, afraid to ask questions. Sometimes people ignored him, but he remembered his mother's words. "Don't stop now." He began again. He joined a speaking club to improve his English and confidence. The first time he spoke, his hands shook. He forgot his lines halfway through. But he didn't quit. Every day he practiced in front of the mirror. Every week he improved, and slowly. People began to notice him. In his final year, his professor announced a national innovation contest. Hundreds of students applied, including Ethan. He built a small solar-powered water pump to help poor farmers. Most people laughed. They said, "That's too simple to win." But Ethan smiled. He said, "Simple ideas change real lives." Months later, the results came out. Ethan's project didn't just win, it won first place. His invention was later adopted by a company that helped bring clean water to hundreds of families in rural areas. That moment changed everything. After graduation, Ethan received a job offer from a leading tech company. He was the first in his family to work in an office, the first to break the chain of struggle. When he walked into his new workplace, wearing his first suit, he remembered every long night, every failure, every tear. He whispered to himself, "I made it, because I never gave up." Years later, Ethan went back to his old school. He stood in front of students, sitting where he once sat. He said, "I wasn't born special. I failed. I cried. I wanted to quit. But I didn't. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep going." He paused and smiled. Because sometimes, the only difference between success and failure is not giving up. So if you're listening to this today, and life feels heavy, and dreams feel far, remember Ethan Miller. He wasn't the smartest, richest, or most confident. He was just the boy who never gave up, and that made all the difference. Don't stop when you're tired. Stop when you're done. Your story can start small, but end incredible.